It is time to set up for the week of January the 8th. So we are going to be taking a quick look at my January 1 goals progress and setting up action plans for week 2 of January. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Or if you are new, welcome. My name is Tracy and I am a girl with plans. So we are back doing another goal related video. So if you have been with me for a little bit, then you know that in December, I did a whole goal setting series. I will have that linked down in the description box. And then I also did a January goal setup, which is right here, and as well as a January action plan. So we're going to go through these, check these off, and then we are going to kind of get into week 2. I also have my catch-all planner next to me because we might pull that out and start moving some of my action plans into my weekly planner. So this is going to be action packed. So I think we're going to go ahead and get started. Okay. So first up, this is week 1. This was my action steps for all of my goal categories. These are very similar, almost identical to like Moxie Life and Cultivate What Matters and a lot of other goal setting systems. The biggest difference is I have a separate social and family and friends category. I wanted to keep them completely separate, as well as I pulled out mental wellness. I do have a physical health or physical wellness section, but I completely track that in a different planner. So when it comes to weekly action steps, I don't have that on here, but I do have that on both my quarterly and my monthly goals. All right, as you see, my monthly goals don't look as in depth because I just kind of kept them very broad so that way I can kind of break them down each week, if that makes any sense. I do want to mention that this is completely trial and error. I am learning as I go. The one thing I did this week for the first time ever, and I will say it's a lot of work, but I love it, is this. So I'm filming this on Sunday morning. So I do have a couple more, I have how many more hours? Like 16 plus hours to actually achieve some of my goals for the week or some of my action plans, complete some of them. But I kind of got a general idea of what I'm going to be able to do or not be able to do. But I decided to kind of track my day. So my catch-all planner is where I plan out my day in advance, what I want to get done. This is me actually sitting down and writing what I did each day. And I'm busy. I didn't think I was busy, but it turns out I'm really, really busy. And that was the first kind of wake up call to me because yes, I do have a lot of time where I'm sitting down on the couch, just watching TV. But a lot of times I am multitasking and I guess I forget about that. So like I'm editing a video while I have the TV on or something like that. So when I started breaking it down, I'm like, okay, so some of my goals or my action plans for week 1, I didn't really complete just because life got in the way. And I'm okay with that because I think I'm going to be having to take some time this month to kind of evaluate how my day goes and like what really happens over the course of a day and what I can fit in and can't fit in. So this was a lot of work, believe it or not. Just this one extra step felt like it took me forever. It really didn't, but it just felt like it because now I had to go into an extra planner, write all this other stuff down, et cetera, et cetera. But I think it was super worthwhile. Because I am using the Girl with Goals extension pack for my goals planner, this was already part of it. However, this is just something that you can just write down on notebook paper or anything like that, just to kind of see what is going on. Like I said, mostly it's my work week. That is what I've kind of underestimated as far as how much time I really have. So I am going to be referring to this. I've already set up my action plan, action plan template for January 8th. And then I've already kind of done a estimate of a reflection of week 1. So in the Girl with Goals extension pack, when you get to the end of the week, you have this quad page over here and this quad page over here. What I'm doing is I'm using this for weekly reflection, and then I'm using this for my action plan. So basically, I'm using what I have to make it work. So for my reflections, I titled each of these separately. So I did wins, challenges, notes, and changes to make. All right, so we're going to get into it right now for week 1. All right, where is my here we go. So a lot of my wins for week 1 did kind of reflect things that aren't here because it was my physical health. That is my big priority for the month. So it's no surprise that that was kind of a focus, and that's kind of what I definitely focused on making it work. So when you talk about priorities, when I didn't have much time in the day, I was going to try my best to get that workout in, meal prep, meal plan, and do stuff like that because that is one of my big priorities. So I did work out every day but one. I plan on working out today. I haven't done that yet, but I plan on doing it. But my goal was 5 days. And that was, like I said, in my other planner. So I'll check. Well, I don't need to check that off because this is my wins. Meal prep, stuck to the meal plan, 6 days. Well, I'm assuming I'm doing it today because I've already meal planned. I already meal prepped for today because I cooked a dinner from Blue Apron on Saturday, and it was a 2-person dinner, and it's just me. So I had an extra meal for today. So that pretty much means I'm gonna stick to the plan, right? And I have no snacks in my house. Like I learned on Friday when I did not follow my meal plan that I am not allowed to have snacks in the house unless they're healthy snacks. I did start reading again, yay, and I journaled sometimes. So I did not do journaling every day, but I'm okay with that. We'll work up to it. Challenges, migraines, that kind of threw a kink in things. I'll probably get into that some over here. Busy. There wasn't enough time. The one thing about me is I really need to wrap up all of my to-dos by 7 p.m. because I'm a morning person and not a night person. So by 7 p.m., that's when I want to start doing my PM routine. That's when I want to start winding down. That's when I want to get my skincare regimen, brush my teeth, pick out my clothes for tomorrow, prep for the next day, read, and just chill. So my task when I get off work in the afternoon has to be from 4 to 7. And then that also has to incorporate showering, eating, and stuff like that. So I don't have much time to get things done after work. So yeah, that just means that there just isn't really enough hours in the workday to get some of these extra tasks done. So I might have to reevaluate and do some things in the morning because I am a morning person. That means I can't just lay in bed. Need to determine priorities. And I think what I meant by that is I'm good. I prioritize my health and fitness, which is what I'm going to keep prioritizing, but I need to determine priorities in other areas. And I put note, I had an acupuncture appointment midday on Wednesday, and that threw off my whole schedule because that's when my Blue Apron meals came in. So then I had to meal prep that night. I had time to do nothing. I was so busy that day. And I've been feeling really exhausted, like midday crashes, and they never recovered. So that has definitely impacted things. And then the one thing I forgot, which is weird because my work schedule is kind of consistent based on certain times of the month. So January's and February's, I have a completely different work schedule, but it's like every January and February. And I did not take that into account when I was planning out my January goals. I haven't started that new kind of work task. It's not really hours that are going to change as much, but it's like those daily tasks and things like that are going to change. So where I want to do a midday workout at lunchtime, that might not always happen. I hope it can happen, but I just definitely need to kind of take that into account. But I won't really know. I won't be in the groove of that probably until week 3 when I figure out my real schedule, because it could. I don't think it's going to affect my work hours, but it could. So we'll see. And then changes to make. I need to complete some to-dos before work. And I need to add some of the non-routine things to my daily planner. And that's, I think, what we're going to get into today. I did a plan with me, or however you want to call it, last week, where I was showing you guys how I put my weekly action plans into my catch-all planner. I will also link that one down below as well. But I kind of stuck to the daily things that I want to turn into a routine. But then I realized I probably need to put some of these one-off things on there, because as we go through this, you're going to see I did not do as many one-off things. So read 30 minutes daily. I did that all but one day. I think I'm going to check it off because I read a lot longer than 30 minutes. Add activities to the weekly calendar. I did that. That is what this is. Check in with the planner daily. I did that. Fun and adventure. I did not research any local events. I did not look at the January local events calendar at all. Those are the things that I'm talking about I need to add to my planner for a specific day. I got to do it, or else I'm just not going to remember it. I did book another trip. So I booked Go Wild, guys. So I have my trip booked. So it's 2 trips now for 2024. And because that one was so pricey, I don't know that I'm going to be able to do another trip. Kind of bummed because I have like a March trip and now an April trip. So now the rest of the year, it's like, oh, it's going to not be as exciting, but whatever. I think if someone invited me on a trip for like any other time of the year, as long as it worked with my work schedule, I probably would give in and try to financially make it work. But I'm personally not going to be researching or planning any additional trips for 2024. And then social, I did not coordinate any outings. I did not sign up for a dating app. I don't think I'm going to put that one on for this week. I think that's going to be low on the priority list right now because I'm just trying to get my schedule figured out, and I don't want to pay for something that I'm probably not even going to do. I did get out of the house. The coordinate one outing, I will say, I'm not trying to make an excuse, but the reason why I didn't do that is because I'm still trying to figure out my schedule. And if I'm being honest, a lot of times when I coordinate outings with my friends, which is down here, like the schedule and outing, I didn't do that. It's usually going out to eat. I'm trying so hard to get back on track with my eating that I don't want to do that yet. I definitely want to do that this month. And I'll be able to do that this month. But I was like, I knew my Blue Apron meals were coming in. So that was already 4 dinners that I already had planned. So I don't know. I think I got in my head and was like, okay, I can't plan too far in advance because I am still trying to figure out my work, how late I'm gonna have to work in the evenings and things like that. So I'm going to migrate that one over. But like I said, the dating app, maybe I'll do the free one just because there's no commitment as far as financial commitment for that, just to kind of dip my toes in it. And that way, if I look at it, I look at it. If I don't, I don't. I did not see if there are any activities that like me and my parents can do. I did text friends. However, that almost feels like a cheat to check off because it was New Year's. So, you say Happy New Year's and then you start chatting. I did track my weekly spending. I did not do any Roth IRA research. That's going to be a task that's going to go in my catch-all planner this week. And I did not set up auto transfer. I did set up auto transfer. I decluttered the living room. This one, how do I do this one? Because it's like a half-half. Did I do a living room deep clean? No, but I did do a living room deep clean of the floors. But I definitely need to do my windows and things like that because I took down my Christmas decorations. So that kind of is why I did it. So we'll just do like that. Create a list of house projects. I did not do that. I did complete a Duolingo lesson a day. I'm getting back into enjoying that, guys. I did not do a Spanish word or phrase of the day. I did look it up, and I did not, there's actual websites where you have a foreign language word of the day or Spanish word of the day. I didn't like the words or the phrases they chose. I just felt like they wouldn't really, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick an English phrase that I want to learn in Spanish, and that's how I'm going to do it. And it's going to be it's going to be like basic, but kind of, I'm going to think about, okay, if I'm traveling, these are the phrases I need to do. So I think I'm going to do that this week. I haven't really played around with my YouTube schedule too much, and I have not done this. This looks bad. I did not journal every day, but I journaled a lot. So we'll just do that. I did not schedule a massage. I did not meditate. I tried to meditate, and I did do a digital detox, 30 minutes each day. Y'all, this looks bad, but I'm okay. I feel like it was a successful week. It doesn't look like it, but I feel like because I learned so much about my schedule last week, I feel like I went a little, I don't know. A lot of this stuff I could have done, and I didn't because I didn't schedule it. So, all right. So we are now going to do this week's. I'm going to move my planner out the way. I actually had set up a little foldable table next to me so that way I have extra room on my desk when I'm filming, so I can just throw it there instead of throwing it on the floor. All right, so now I can glance over and look at my annual goals. All right, so my annual goals is to read 2 books. I have completed 1 audiobook already, y'all. Yes, it was the Britney Spears one. It was like 6 hours, so it wasn't too long. Let me take a sip real quick. It was definitely on the shorter end of audiobooks. It was a nice listen. I'll get more into that when I do my reading recaps. So that would probably be in February for January's reading recap. But yeah, so we're going to do read 30 minutes. This one's going to be a little bit more difficult unless I find another audiobook, because I have been doing both audio and Kindle. So I have been doing audio like during my work day, if I'm just doing some kind of like mindless entry into the computer system, or while I'm cooking, meal prepping. Sometimes like I did like an Epsom salt bath soak for self-care. I listened to the audiobook there while I took down my Christmas tree. So there was a lot of opportunities to listen to my audiobook for like hours. So, and then at nighttime, I would like read 30 minutes or something like that. So I was reading a lot, if you count the audiobook and the Kindle book. But now that the audiobook is finished, now I got to make sure I do the Kindle book. All right. Let me see what else I have. So these are all going to be the same. So I still want to track my time. So I want to say time tracking, and I want to do daily planner check-ins. I don't know why I didn't finish this. I feel like there's something else I would like to do. Yes, there is. It's throwing me off because it's what we talked about when I was doing my recap, but it's not spelled out on my January goals because it wasn't something I realized I had a problem with. So I want to pre-workday to-dos. That basically means I need to like kind of set some to-dos I want to do for the pre-workday. And that could be fun stuff. It could be like I want to do yoga in the morning, first thing in the morning when I wake up. That could also be filming a video. I don't really film videos that early. I do sometimes, like now I'm filming it early on a Sunday, but I don't really do it on my work days. For some reason, I'm in the habit of doing it in the evening, but that might be something worthwhile to explore. Okay, so for fun and adventure, I'm going to transfer over the Research 2024 local events and look at January local events calendar. Let's just focus on the January calendar. So I'm not going to transfer both. All right. And then for this one, I said one new activity and adventure for the month of January. I don't know how to do that, y'all. All right, we're gonna have to come back to that. So I did swap this because I like writing going down than going across, and social and family and friends are the next on my monthly goals. So that is why they're swapped. So I do want to coordinate one outing because like I said, I feel like I had a good reason not to do it last month, but I just need to just do it. And if I do it this week, it'll be for next week, where I should have a better grasp of my work schedule. So get out of house 1+ times. Again, that doesn't include like picking up prescriptions or going to the grocery store. It doesn't count getting out of the house for things I have to do. Like I would have to do it regardless of how I felt. It's getting out of the house by choice. And like I said, that could be, I mentioned last time, it could be going to Target because there's always the option of ordering online. So when I make that decision to get out, I'm counting that. And then one more, maybe I'll just do free dating app. That way there is no real commitment to check in with it once a day or anything like that. I feel like I'm getting my money's worth. Family and friends. I still need to schedule an outing. This is probably going to be the same. I need to text. So even though the text 2 friends, yeah, I did that. I need to do that every week. And then I need to research activities to do with my parents. Okay, so those are going to, a lot of this stuff I mentioned was going to be the same. Obviously, as like fun and adventure, as I start checking things off, it's going to be, what do I put there now? All right, so for financial, I need to track my weekly spending. That's always going to be consistent. I need to track my Roth IRA research, but I also need to, this month, I need to figure out budgets so I can increase savings. So I need to start working on that, and that might be one. So I need to work out my budget, because now that I have booked 2 fairly pricey trips, still can't believe how much I spent on a planner conference, but you know, it'll be fun. I need to like work on replenishing those funds. Fortunately, like I do have a separate savings account. So when I purchased that, it did not come from like my checking account where my bills and stuff come from. It did come from a savings account. So that did help a little bit. All right. So I do need to kind of brainstorm house projects. That's how I'm going to word it. Okay, this week I need to tackle my office closet. And I don't know that I have another one. Like, I almost feel like that might be good enough for this week, because I'm already doing daily cleaning. I guess I'll just do that. Okay, learning. I think the Spanish word of the day and the Duolingo are going to stay here. All right, and then I really need to figure out my filming schedule to kind of play around with that to see if I can move that maybe to wake up or anything like that. Okay, mental wellness. I'm not going to do my schedule of the massage, I don't think yet. I think I need to wait until the 3rd week when I kind of got a better idea of my schedule to see if I might be able to schedule that. Although I might be able to schedule it on the weekend. Maybe I will. So I think what I'm going to do for mental wellness is I'm going to just transfer all of this over here. It's going to be the same thing. Okay. So I've actually, I said journal every day. I want meditate twice. So not 3 times, twice. Digital detox 30 minutes a day, because that is working. And that's pretty much phone detox and like TV detox, but like Kindle, that doesn't count. And then I wrote schedule self-care activity. So if it's not a massage, it might just be another chiropractor appointment. I really need to add something for fun and adventure, because that is a big focus for this year. But I don't know, guys. I don't know. So I don't want to force it. Okay. So now I'm going to pull out my catch-all planner. Maybe something will pop into my head for fun and adventure. I mean, I feel like, you know, the social outings and things like that are going to kind of guide that. All right, so here is my weekly and my catch-all planner. So I've already filled this out. These beautiful stickers came from Winter Blooms from Live Love Posh. I'm saying I'm not really decorating like the dailies, but I have been. But yeah, I had to use these stickers. I will have that link down in the description, as well as my discount code, which is AGWP10. So I think I went over this last week. I have my work section down here. So I have a few more things to add. This is my cleaning schedule. And then I don't have any other appointments, because this week is kind of going to like start bumping it up when it comes to work. So I didn't really want to schedule anything this week until I kind of figure that out. I think here is where I'm going to write my goals. So what goals do we want to transfer over to my planner as far as one-off? So we want to do, let me see, there might be an, yeah, there is. I don't know that they're going to match, but that's okay. I think this is the only ones that have the headers. So we're just going to use it. It's fine. Goals. Okay. So these are the goals that I'm going to like transfer over that I need to do. And I'm not going to put my routines in there, because those are pretty much, I will still put them on my dailies, but I'm not going to put them right here. This is just so I can remember to do it. So, okay. So those I think are the 4 ones. A lot of the other ones are kind of going to be more of part of my routine. So Roth IRA, home projects, local events, reach out to friends. I think that's it. Okay. So I do need to pull out this is an old planner. When I say old planner, I mean, it's a 2023 planner and I'm using it here in 2024. So as you can see, this is the 9th. I'm going to put on here the 8th. So this is a Go-Getter Girl planner. I will have this also linked down in the description, which is also affiliate link, along with a 10% off discount code. Okay, January 8th. There, yes. I don't know why saying January threw me off. So I know I have a staff meeting around noon. So let's play around with things here. Let's play around. So I've been waking up on my own without an alarm around 6:30 in the morning, but I start working around 7:30. So do I need to try to bump that up? I do like to wake up and lay in my bed. Even though I'm like almost really, I'm one of those people that like, I don't have to hit the snooze button. Like when I'm awake, because like I said, I'm a morning person. Do I need to amp that up just a tad? I don't know, guys. It makes me nervous because my sleep patterns have been so off like last year that I'm nervous about changing it and having it. Like when I say so off, the reason why I even started tracking my sleep was because I was waking up at 2:30 and 3 in the morning and like ready to go for the day and could not go back to sleep. And that was consistent for months at a time. And I'm finally like back to like normal wake up hours. And like, I'm nervous about waking up early, but I feel like I need to. I feel like I need to. I feel like I almost need to make sure I'm up by 6. So that way, at least I have 30 minutes to kind of maybe do a pre-work task. So that way I have a whole hour here to do morning stuff. Do like lay in bed, do Duolingo, because I do that while I'm laying in bed. Get up, get ready, make my bed, do all the other AM routine stuff, which it literally doesn't take any time at all. And then do something in the morning. I think I'm going to try it, y'all. I think I'm going to try it. So we're just going to plan. This is what this planner is about. And instead of using stickers today, I have pulled these two because I think I'm going to just put some more. I only have one more sheet of stickers from this one. You can see I put it here too. So I'm just going to put it in, this is how I'm decorating, y'all. Like you could put a positive affirmation or anything in this box. I'm just going to put this sticker in it because why not? Now it's cute. Yeah, that's all I needed to do. And the whole page has immediately transformed. Okay. So we're going to write 6 a.m. And I want to do Duolingo AM routine. And then do I want to film? So I know I'm going to have to start work around 7:30 for January and February, really for starting like middle of this week through February. So I'm just going to, it's kind of what I do anyway. So I'm going to keep that as is. It's just sometimes I might be able to take a longer break in the middle of the day because I'm going to have to work later. And I still only pull 8 hours. So I'll just take like a little bit longer when there's like a lull time in my schedule. So for 7:30, which is here. All right. Telework. All right, and then we also have a staff meeting. So I usually take a lunch break around noon, but now there's a staff meeting and those could go for an hour, hour and a half. So I'm gonna probably need to fix my lunch before the staff meeting. So I don't know if I'm gonna do a midday workout, because one of the advantages for me from working from home is during my lunch break, I'll just do like a quick workout, usually it's 30 minutes. I don't really want to do 45 minutes, but I get a whole hour. And then I will literally do like a working lunch. So like I'll eat when I go back and start doing work. So that's kind of what I do, because I definitely need to get up and get away from my computer, and there's really nothing else to do when you're at home. I guess I could use that time if I didn't want to work out to like actually clean or do something like that, but I definitely need to make that. But I think because I'm not sure that I'm gonna be able to do it, I think we are going to go ahead and do my workout after work, and I need to do it right after work, because I feel like at the end, that's when I'm like, woo, I don't know. Okay. Then I usually do dinner around 5:30 or 6. I should not have to meal prep because I'm planning on doing that. Oh no, I'm not going to do that today. I decided that I will prep everything as far as veggies and all that fun stuff. So I just have to throw it in the skillet for dinner tomorrow. That way it's fresh and it'll last a little bit longer. Because if I meal prep on a Sunday, but I already have dinner prep for tonight, then I won't even start eating it until like 24 hours later. So I just feel like for me, it'll be easier for me just to prep everything, all the ingredients, and then I can just throw it in the skillet and it won't take as much time. So I can multitask when I'm doing that, but we'll say dinner around 5:30, which is kind of perfect because I'll be hungry after working out. All right, and then this is when I'm gonna get into my routine. So I use all these little, I didn't write, see, I already messed up. I didn't write in any of my, see, these little icons help me out because it reminds me of what I need to do. All right, so I'm gonna write, I need to make sure I need to take, I'm gonna get a little bit specific now that I'm writing it in here. So around 10 a.m., I'm gonna take, so I need to take a multivitamin, a thyroid and adrenal supplement, and a probiotic. So I'm just I wrote those here last week and just put like the little pill icons here, but I think I actually want to write it down. All right, so then the other thing, see, this is helping me figure it out. I do need to have time for cleaning, which, what did I determine I was going to do? Oh, my office. That actually needs to be before my workout, which is still fine. We're fine. It literally, when I do these daily cleaning, except for the bath, like Tuesday is going to take a little bit of time because I need to clean my bathrooms and clean out their fridge. So I need to wipe down the sinks, clean the toilet. But like, I don't need to clean the shower and stuff because I do that when I get out of the shower. But I need to do that like the mirrors. But the office, I feel like I almost can start doing that toward the end of the day. So we'll just write here, clean office. So I know it's like right at the end of the day. Okay. So then I need to journal. I also been writing here hand lettering because it's something I really want to do. It's kind of like a hobby. So I'll do that too. Haven't really been doing it consistently, but it was fun when I did it, when I remember to do it. And then I think that's it. I think the only things I will have to do is my PM routine. Okay. So that is how I'm writing that out. Now, what do I want to do today as far as my thing? Okay, so I need to... All right, so what I put down here, and it might be things that get moved into Tuesday. Time tracking, that's gonna be every day. Planner check-in, that's gonna be every day. IRA research and look at local events are the two that I'm putting here that might be moved in. You know what? Let's just put them all. Let's put all three of them, and then what I don't do, I move to the next day. Instead of like figuring out what day I can do it, I'll put them all here for personal to-dos, and I'll just keep moving them until they get done. Problem solved. And I put in text, and then I will put a person's name there when I check in the morning. Okay, so that's it, guys. And now I'll do this probably, like I said, it's probably going to be like the same type of thing. I plan out my day with kind of my routine things. And then these are my to-dos that are kind of based off of my goals. So there we go. That is week 2, which was almost like a carbon copy of week 1. But as I mentioned at the very beginning, for me, I didn't realize that I was like this time management study that I was doing, that I'm really going to have to do this for a few more weeks before I can really hone in on some of my weekly actions. So it's probably going to be repetitive. I don't know if I'm going to do another video for week 3 or not. We'll see. Timing is going to be an issue because I need to film them almost the day that I'm going to put it up. So, and that could be a little tedious when it comes to, like, you know, YouTube is not always friendly when it comes to upload times, and sometimes there's even problems uploading it at all. So we will see. But I do hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please hit that like button. And if you are not already subscribed, I really hope you would consider subscribing to my channel. So everything that I use, I will have linked down in the description code. They are affiliate links, so I would appreciate if you would consider using those. And if there are discount code available, I will have that also listed down in the description box. All right, guys, so that is all I have for now. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, evening, or night. Until next time, bye.